Students and parents, welcome to AP Calculus AB at Quince Orchard High School, and congratulations on beginning your journey on the calculus bus. My name is Jeff Jernigan, and I'm the math resource teacher at Quince Orchard High School, and I'm the teacher of the AP Calculus AB course at Quince Orchard High School. The purpose of this video is to introduce myself to you and to share some expectations that I have for you this year in the AP Calculus course. Normally, this would be an email that I would send out around this time of year, but things are very, very different this year. So I decided to make a video so you could see at least what I look like a little bit and begin to get some understanding of the course. Please know that at the end of this video that there is an assignment that you are to complete before school begins. So as I walk you through some of the expectations, instead of looking at me the whole time, I'm going to let you look at my little emoji friend here as we talk about some things with calculus. So I've already done an introduction and I've welcomed you to the calculus bus. I've been teaching this course for a very long time, and I've been teaching for a long time. However, I can honestly tell you that this feels like my first year of teaching. Teaching remotely is not what I necessarily know how to do, but I'm learning a lot and I'm learning it quickly, and I promise you I'm committed to your success this year. This is my favorite course to teach. I love teaching AB Calculus, and one of the benefits that I've had the opportunity to enjoy is the ability to be an AP reader. College Board has hired me for about the past 7 or 8 years for a week to come in and score AP test. And even in our virtual online testing last year, I was able to participate in grading. The benefit of that for you is that I know kind of the ins and outs of what College Board is expecting and what they want from you and what they're looking for. So that's a big benefit for you. As you know, QO is all about tradition. We have tradition in our sports, we have tradition in our arts, and we have tradition in our academics, and in all of those arenas, we strive for excellence. When I started teaching AP Calculus at Quince Orchard about 12 years ago, there were only 20 to 30 students taking the course, and when they took the AP test, the average score was between a 2 and a 3, which is not passing and really, frankly, not acceptable. So during these past 10 years, the math department has worked very closely to enhance and improve our students' performance in AP Calculus. It starts in Algebra 1 and it goes all the way through AP Calculus. So during that time, we've tripled the number of students taking AB Calculus, and students every year earn an average between a 4 and a 5, which is pretty amazing. And I can tell you that Quince Orchard usually has the highest AB score in Montgomery County Public Schools. And if we're not first, we're usually second, but mostly first. And this is a testimony to the work and commitment that students have at Quince Orchard High School. Last year, we had 70 students around about that were taking AP Calculus AB, and they scored, even during COVID, an average of 4.64. which means most of the students last year earned a 5. I'm going to uncover some statistics here and you can see exactly how we did. So last year, we had 70 students taking the test, and this is the number of students that took the test in Maryland, and this is the number of students that took the test globally. Our 70 students earned an average of 4.64, and in Maryland, the average was a 3.34, and globally, only a 3.06. And as you can see over here, 98.6% of our students earned a 3 or better. And as I said, most students earned a 5 and some students earned a 4. This year, we're going for an average of 5. I believe we can do it even in a virtual situation. I'm committed to that, and I'm sure you are too. So that leads us to our next slide. Can I really earn a 5? Absolutely. If you do what I ask you to do, you will be successful. However, we all know that learning will be different this year. I'm learning how to teach in a virtual environment. You're learning how to learn in a virtual environment. So it's going to take patience, it's going to take grace, it's going to take encouragement, and sometimes it's going to feel like when we're on the calculus bus that we're driving on square wheels, which will be a pretty bumpy ride. Sometimes the ride will be smooth. So in order to earn a 5, here's some things that you're going to need to do. A lot of this depends on you with me pushing from behind. Practice. You are going to have to do, I guess everything is homework these days, but you're going to have to do the practice. You've got to develop the procedural fluency. That's like muscle memory that makes doing these processes almost automatic. And you have to do it every day. Math is important for every day. So even though we're not meeting face to face every day, there will be something for you to do every day. Another attribute that makes our students so successful is this idea of aggressive learning. And I'll talk to you a lot about this year about aggressive learning. And that's an active learning versus passive learning. So I've listed below some of the characteristics that I've seen over the years in students that are aggressive learners, which describes most of the students who take this course. Aggressive learners are proactive and not reactive. They don't wait until they do poorly on an assessment to figure out, I should have studied and I should have done my homework. They go ahead and they do the work and they're proactive. They look for opportunities to learn and ask questions. Aggressive learners know their resources, and a little later on in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the resources that are available to you, and you have to search those things out and know what's there. Aggressive learners do their homework for the purpose of learning, not to just get a check mark in the grade book. Homework is really where math is learned, so you need to do a really good job in your homework. Aggressive learners are prepared for class, meaning the work is done, they have all the materials that they need, and they're ready to ask questions. And that brings us to the next attribute of an aggressive learner. An aggressive learner asks questions, even if the learner thinks this might be a dumb question. It might be, but it's still a question and it needs an answer. Aggressive learners persevere when the tough gets going. They don't give up because the math is hard. They keep going, they phone a friend, they reach out to the teacher, they do whatever it takes to get through. Aggressive learners understand the art of taking good notes. This is something that I have to do a lot of teaching on. Students, in many cases, are trained to write down what the teacher writes down and they think they're doing a good job. And maybe they are, but the aggressive learner writes down the things, the ahas that they hear the teacher say that the teacher doesn't necessarily write down, but they hear the teacher saying it and it makes sense to them, so they write it down. An aggressive learner works to understand concepts, not just memorize procedures. I promise you, you will not make it through AP Calculus by trying to just simply learn the procedures of things like the quotient rule, the product rule, the chain rule, but you have to understand, when do you use it? Why does it work? Why am I using this particular procedure? Understanding the why. Aggressive learners strive to make connections between ideas instead of viewing concepts in isolation. This entire course will be woven together before your very eyes, and you have to see the entire tapestry in order to be successful. Aggressive learners are collaborative, meaning you work with other people. You work well with other people. Sometimes they know the answer, sometimes you know the answer. So I will encourage you to be collaborative, and we'll talk more about that and how to collaborate. Aggressive learners understand that they do not know all the answers, and that's why we need some other folks around to help support us. And then finally, aggressive learners understand the importance of daily attendance. Now, daily attendance for us is going to mean attending every Zoom session. I'm only going to get to see you live twice a week, except for possibilities of extra help and things like that, additional opportunities that I offer. But we're going to get 2 Zoom sessions a week in which we have to do a lot. So everybody's expected to be in every Zoom session. So in order to get that 5, there has to be some accountability put into place. Accountability is just making sure that you learn what it is you're supposed to learn. So one of the ways that we're going to hold you accountable, or I'm going to hold you accountable, is by doing homework checks. And this will be a weekly homework check of any assignment that I decide to pick from that week. There will be a certain amount of time, or a day and a time, where you'll have about 10 minutes to upload the chosen assignment to make sure that you're completing all of your assignments. Of course, we're going to continue to have assessment, formative and summative, and I'll be honest, I'm still working on what that's going to look like this year. It may look a little different. There will be times where we'll have quizzes on Canvas, and they'll be locked until a certain time, and they'll close at a certain time so that you have a limited amount of time in which to do your assessment. Assessments are really important because it gives me, as your teacher, an opportunity to see the things that you do understand and the things that you don't understand. Academic integrity is always, always, always of utmost importance, but it might be, I don't know if you can elevate always, but it might be even more important this year that you do your work. Otherwise, I won't get the opportunity to figure out what it is you know and what you don't know. Some quizzes and tests may not go well, but that's an opportunity for me to help you improve for the next time, because what you'll notice about content in this course is that it will spiral. I will bring questions back. Areas where I see kids struggle, I will bring them back on other assessments because you have to know all the content for the AP test. Another accountability is in our Zoom sessions. As I mentioned earlier, attendance is absolutely required and a must in our Zoom sessions. And during our Zoom sessions, there will be some random calling to give you an opportunity to have a conversation with me. And sometimes we're going to need to turn our cameras on so that I can see what you look like, so I can see your facial expressions, so I can get a read on whether you're understanding or not. And ghosting will always be called out. When you're on a Zoom session, you're on a Zoom session. You can't just walk away from the camera. And there will be things that will show me if you're ghosting or not. So make sure that you are an aggressive learner and that you are engaged. That's an accountability measure that works towards you getting that 5. Communication. If you're like me, you have more emails than you know what to do with. But unfortunately, it's pretty much our only way to communicate with each other. So you will get emails. I don't really have a way to tell you how to manage your emails, and maybe you can tell me how to manage my emails because I'm struggling with that right now. But we will need to communicate, and I will communicate with parents. It is important for you to understand that I only check my Outlook email. MCPS requires us to keep track of our Outlook email, and that's the email address you see at the top, Jeffrey A. Jernigan at mcpsmd.org. If you go to the Quince Orchard website and go to the math department and select my name, this is the email that you will get. Even though we have an MCPS Gmail account, I do not check my Gmail. So you might send me things and think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. I simply don't check that account, and we're simply not required to check that account in MCPS. We're required to check our Outlook account. So make sure you have that correct email address. Communication is really, really, really important. I'll do it, and I expect you to also. Resources. So something you'll find out about, and you're going to have an assignment here shortly, is my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel of my videos only. And on that YouTube channel, it's called The Calculus Bus, and you can go to YouTube and search The Calculus Bus. I would encourage you to subscribe to that page because when you do, you'll get notifications when I make new emails. And we're probably going to be looking at sort of a modified flipped classroom this year. So a lot of times you will be watching the lessons on videos that I have made specifically for you that go with our packets. And then in class, we'll unpack the learning. You'll find an assignment sheet, and all of these things and links will be found on Canvas, which will be our primary delivery system this year. And on the first day of school, I'll talk to you about where to find things and like stuff like that. But on the assignment sheet, you'll notice that there are live links. It has the assignment. There are links there if there's a video for that particular lesson, links if there's a homework video. So the assignment sheet's really important and very interactive. You'll find when we go onto Canvas and when you take a look at what's there, there'll be folders there with worked out solutions. I don't hide solutions from you. And I trust, we talked about academic integrity. You're not going to copy the solutions. And I promise you, if you do, I'll be able to easily figure it out and I will call you out on it. So the solutions are there to support you, to be able to check, for you to figure out, am I getting it? And if not, where are my questions? And one of the things I'll expect you to do in your homework is to annotate the homework to indicate where you're struggling and what you got right. Again, we'll talk more about that once school starts. I'm providing physical copies of our packets. They'll be digitally located as well. And if you want to print out your own copy of the packets, that's fine. But I think the packets are really, really important. They are designed to go with the videos. They're designed to go with the lessons, and I want you to have a place to be able to take notes in that packet. So the physical packets are very important. I have all of them prepared for you for the entire year. And when you come in to pick up your materials, the distribution dates for juniors are August 25th, which is a Tuesday, and for seniors, it's August the 28th, which is a Friday. In the packet that you pick up of all the materials that you receive from school, you will have physical copies of the packets ready to go for you. You'll need to put those in a safe place, and you'll use those throughout the year. If you choose to not pick up materials, you're welcome to print, like I said, digitally for yourself, or you could go to Staples and print them out, whatever works for you. But I have taken the time to get those packets ready for you, so take advantage of that. As far as school supplies are concerned, this year the need for organization is going to be paramount, more important than ever. You're going to have to be organized. I spent time this morning trying to organize my quote-unquote office area, which equals my dining room, in a way that's going to help me to figure out where things are and not lose things. I strongly encourage you to get a 3-ring binder. The packets that I referenced earlier will have holes punched in them, so you can put them in a binder. You can keep your homework in there, but organization is very, very important. You will need a graphing calculator for this course. Most of you probably have them, and the Texas Instruments are the brand that we use, TI-84, or if you have an old 83, that's okay as well. But if you're purchasing one, a TI-84 is what you want to be looking for. And a graphing calculator should only ever be used when I tell you in tonight's homework, use your calculator. If you use it when you're not supposed to, it will show later on when you don't have the procedural fluency that you need. Always have plenty of pencils and erasers and a few brightly colored pens. I'm not talking black or blue. I'm talking about bright green, bright red, bright orange, pink, something, because we're going to use those pens to annotate our homework, and they need to stand out so that when you study, you can go back and look and figure out the things that you did not understand by looking for the brightly colored pen. More about that when school starts. Talking about tradition from earlier, at QO we have developed a tradition in calculus, and we have created what students call a no excuses classroom. What that means is every day I make no excuses to you. I will always give you my best. Sometimes my best for that day might be not be as good as it could be, but I will always strive to improve it, and I expect from you your best performance, your best answers, your best aggressive learning. Now, that doesn't mean we won't make mistakes. You're going to see me make mistakes, and I'm going to see you make mistakes. That's where the patience and the grace comes in. However, we can't let ourselves have excuses. We have to learn this course. We have to learn the content for the year. Tenacity is a must. We're talking aggressive learning. And if you look at the little picture over to the right of my little emoji guy, I kind of think of myself, you guys are inside of that rock, and I'm having to push 90 of you up a hill. I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to let you fall. You've got to do your part also to help get up that hill. So as I promised you, you have some work to do before school even starts, and here's what it is. You can take a picture of this if you need to. Your job, before I see your bright shining face on the first day that we're together, is you are to, number one, watch the video titled Limits Day 1. You'll find it on my YouTube page, The Calculus Bus, and you'll find it in the Limits and Continuity playlist. One of the nice things about the packets is that the videos are organized by packet title. So the first packet is entitled Limits and Continuity, and so all the videos for Limits and Continuity are in a playlist called, you guessed it, Limits and Continuity. As you are watching that video, and the beauty of a video is you can watch it as many times as you need it. But one of your jobs is to take notes in your packet if you have it, or if you decide to watch that video before you have your packet, you can take notes on notebook paper. So I will expect you to have a good, thorough understanding of the day 1 limits, defining what a limit is, and finding limits graphically. While you're on YouTube, preview my YouTube channel. What's there? How's it organized? And thirdly, you're going to read the article, The Purpose of Homework, and write a reflection. Now, the article will be sent to you in an email, or in the email that you received that had this video link in it. So go to that link, read the article, The Purpose of Homework, and write a reflection. A reflection simply, what do you think about what you read? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Yeah, that's your reflection. I'm not looking for just great essay. I'm just looking for a sincere reflection of what you read in the article. And I may ask you to submit this reflection to me after school starts. So this is your assignment. This needs to be completed before I see your bright, shining face on the first day of school. So that's pretty much all I have to share with you right now. I am really looking forward to a great year. It's going to be a different kind of year, but we all need to keep a positive attitude. We all need to stay on the bus, and we need to keep the learning going. So I love calculus, and I hope by the end of this, you'll love it too.